I think it all goes back to their cash management philosophy, right? Because again, like with payroll benefits, employees, you really can only pay them with cash. I mean, like that's just how it works. If you don't have the money in the bank account, you can't pay people. So then that's what starts to create, and that's what starts to create layoffs, right? So I think like the best thing people can do at any point in time is if you don't have access to the data, as far as hey, in my entire employee life cycle from my first hello and applying for the job to going through the interview process to going through onboarding as an employee first 6 months all the way through separation or retirement, right? Do you have all the data on that employee's journey so that you can make better decisions in forecasting how are we going to solve for this problem, right? Because like most companies should know, like say it's a SaaS startup, hey, I have X amount of time in runway of cash with my current expenses. What am I going to do to bring that down? So when it comes to insurance, right, a lot of times the insurance broker, we're able to forecast or even like explain, hey, like we may want to look at a different strategy around your benefits, or maybe you need to start thinking about other options, maybe putting some of the benefits down right now, or maybe even boosting them up in certain areas so that you can keep your people. It really kind of depends. But like some of the areas I actually first find out a company's in financial trouble is if I bring on a new client and say like I'm doing their directors and officers insurance. One of the first things in the directors officers insurance is like, hey, they want to make sure that the company's a going concern, meaning that however much expenses they have right now through the next 12 months, do we think that this management team will manage the money and the resources in the business to the satisfaction of the LPs or the investors, right, that they have an agreement with? That's why they have D&O insurance. And if financially it's like, hey, our company's pre-revenue, we only have 1 million in the bank, but we're going to spend 7 million and we have no projection of revenue generation because we're pre-revenue and our product's never been done before, well, then that D&O insurance, I can't write it. Why? Because there's a very significantly high chance that having 7 million of expenses and only 1 million in the bank right now means that you're not going to have a business like very quickly, right? Like within like a month or two. So those are the types of things where that's an extreme example, but those are things like as an insurance broker every year when you're going through the audit or you're going through the company's financials as you're looking at like their risk. That's where you can start bringing things to the attention of the business owners and help them get ahead of it and help them plan. Like, well, if the company were to write you, you would need to show, hey, we have 7 million of expenses, but we have $8 million of either funding coming in or we have revenue coming in, something along those lines. Like what is it that I can show them? Because they're not going to write a policy if inside that period we think the business is going to fail. Because then it's speculative risk, it's not pure risk. So like that's like an example of a way, if you have a savvy insurance broker, they should be able to help you out with your business problems more than just slapping a policy in your face and telling you, hey, I saved you 15%, right? Like that's kind of where I think you get somebody good and you'll know it right away because they'll have those conversations with you.